Well, hello.
Welcome to another edition of Tuesday Talks with Ashley Hanna
and Angelo Datseris, aka CLT Mortgage Guy.
We are together in person today. We're close. Don't worry, we're both vaccinated.
Yep, vaccinated, and I've had COVID. I'm not sure about you guys, but I've had COVID. So yes, we are at the office. We decided to do a little, instead of be far away with two different cell phones, we thought we'd just go ahead and get together and do a little Tuesday Talks together. So thank you, Ashley, for stopping by the office.
Always. It's one of my favorite places.
And today we're actually, speaking of COVID, we're going to talk about what Ashley has been seeing and something that we kind of were talking about yesterday about what you should or could potentially do in case you come down with COVID and you don't know how bad it's going to be, and if you're in the process or just going through a real estate transaction, maybe you should get a
power of attorney. Yep. So here's the scenario. Basically, I've seen this in, I'm in a bunch of different real estate agent groups here in Charlotte, and a few things that keep coming up here recently is, help, what do I do? We're closing tomorrow, and my client has come down with COVID and is in the hospital on a ventilator.
I can't even imagine. And that's really something that, as we're discussing, that we don't think about. Like, you don't think that it's going to happen. We are in some crazy times right now, so we kind of have to think outside the box. And if you're undergoing, once again, a real estate transaction,
whether it's refi or purchase.
Correct. Maybe you should consider having a power of attorney or putting a power of attorney in place. And so what exactly does that mean? Right? So if you're in the middle of a real estate transaction and you think that you may need to have somebody else sign on your behalf, so that's basically what a power of attorney means, is that you have somebody signing on your behalf, you have to get a property specific, which is very important. It can't just be a power of attorney that you've written up between maybe you and a family member in case somebody gets sick.
Right.
It has to be specific to that property.
Transaction.
Correct. That particular transaction, that property, and it has to be approved in underwriting by an underwriter before anybody can
I didn't really realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So once they get the power of attorney for that property, it needs to go to you, and you have to make sure that underwriting gives it its approval.
Correct. Because each lender kind of wants specific verbiage or it to have different verbiage for them, for their attorneys and their compliance. So each lender has, their own requirements when it comes to a power of attorney. So if you have to get a power of attorney for any reason whatsoever, especially in COVID, this particular case with COVID, you want to make sure that you have the lender's sign off and their approval, because that will not go to closing until that's signed off on by the underwriter.
So, and I think, that is a absolutely terrible situation, but unfortunately it is the reality that we live in. I feel like a lot of times you and I both have to have conversations with clients that they don't necessarily like, right? Okay, I know that none of us are planning on getting COVID or being in the hospital on a ventilator. However, we're buying a house, we're under contract, you just tested positive. Let's be proactive, right? And go ahead and get a power attorney set up for you.
Right.
Whether or not you're already in the hospital or, at this point you've only tested positive for the virus.
Right.
Something else that I feel like that's just happened is the hurricane. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And our hearts go out to all those in Louisiana and New Orleans and everyone that's in the path of Ida right now. But something that is important that you have to protect yourself is flood insurance. Whether or not it is required by where your property is or not. Like, just because you're not in a FEMA zone doesn't mean your property is not going to flood.
Correct. Right.
So I tell all of my clients to go ahead and get flood insurance. We are in crazy times. I don't think anyone who's living where Ida just came through maybe thought that their house would be underwater.
Correct. Because your insurance is not going to, just your regular insurance policy is not going to cover, flood damage. And things like that. So
roof leaks.
Roof leak, correct. So you have to be proactive, You want to talk to your insurance provider that you're getting the insurance through. Hey, what would happen if a hurricane came through?
Play the what if game.
Correct. What would happen if a tornado came through? What would happen in these scenarios? What do I need to put in place? What do I need to be thinking of? Because spending a few extra dollars is going to safeguard you to save thousands and thousands of dollars in case something was to happen. Gosh, I can't even imagine.
I know.
And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, gosh, you would think, and I don't know. I know because the U.S. we have the natural resources wood, right? And we can talk wood. So we can talk about lumber prices.
Oh, wood. Yeah. Oh, I'm like, what?
We can talk about lumber prices in a minute, which she's going to talk about. Yes, happy birthday.
Oh,
yes. It's Ashley's birthday today, so happy birthday, Ashley. And I'll sing happy birthday.
Okay, great. Looking forward to that. Wood.
Correct. So I just wonder, why do they keep on rebuilding homes with wood in those areas when there's a lot of instances where they're in the line of a hurricane. You would think they would do it with concrete, like in Greece,
right?
Correct. I mean, I'm just kind of going off.
Ooh, that's okay.
In Greece, the homes are built in it's concrete.
Really?
There's
because it's areas that flood.
Well, it's areas for a earthquake, and B, that's Greece's natural resource. Where Santorini is like a big cement factory, right? And so So in Greece, the majority or all of the when it comes to either single-family residences or the commercial buildings, it's all concrete.
That's really interesting because where do they use concrete here?
But in commercial buildings, like the big commercial buildings.
Just in commercial buildings.
A majority in the big commercial buildings, yeah.
But not single
this
family.
Is concrete. Single family is all wood.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I do think that we're going to have to see some innovation.
Correct.
In the single family space around whether it's concrete, whether it's, I've seen some stuff around this 3D printing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know about the 3D printing.
Yeah, and and maybe that could be some kind of solution for something. And either way, I do with the lumber shortages that we've had, with the rising in cost and building in general, and just the shortage in materials across the board.
Correct.
I do think that we're going to have to.
We're going to have to figure something out. Now, of course, concrete's more expensive. Right.
Okay.
That's probably why. That's most likely not just because of natural resource price. It is probably more expensive to do concrete, but still, how many times is a hurricane going to destroy a house before it comes? I don't know. I was thinking that yesterday when I was seeing the
devastation. That makes so much sense, Angelo. I literally didn't realize that. I think it's interesting to see how other people in other countries too are building, right? What do their single family homes look like, and how do they hold up to natural disasters? Because I just think we're going to keep seeing more and more of those.
Correct.
Like, what about the fires? I'm just, it's just like concrete isn't going to burn in a fire, right? Maybe we're onto something,
right? Let's maybe continue this conversation. Let's talk to some people. See what I wonder what the differences would be between concrete and wood to build something. But anyways, our hearts go out to everybody that is impacted by this hurricane. It's horrible.
Tough times, and I can't imagine. But like I said, these are tough conversations that nobody likes to have, but that's what we're here for.
Correct.
Like making sure that you have the proper insurance, whether it is required or not. I am a believer in the more insurance, the better. That's the anxiety in me.
You're right. I mean, and I know people that got insurance for like a townhouse or a condo, and they only had like contents or walls in insurance, right? Which is properties. But there was a water leak in the structure of the property of somebody else's unit, and it's crushed, a lower unit, and your insurance doesn't cover like a water
in somebody else's.
It'll cover like the interior, but to rebuild and things like that, you have to like a pipe burst.
Yeah.
And so even in my like a regular single family home, if you have a just because you have homeowners insurance, there's things that it doesn't cover when it comes to like septic backup and pipers and things like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you're...
Read through it. Ask
Correct.
a million questions with
Yeah.
your insurance agent. Angelo has someone great that would be happy to answer any of your questions.
Right. So...
That's what's up.
Right. So now let's talk about wood prices. Where are we at?
So I just looked it up on the NASDAQ, and currently lumber prices are at $533.10.
So that's up from last week?
I can't remember.
I think it was
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It's up from last week a little bit, so.
Okay, I feel like that's probably, I wonder if that's in response to Ida.
I'm not sure.
Or
about
maybe
that.
it's too soon.
Maybe too soon. I know the gas prices are going to go because of Ida.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking today.
The pipeline, they shut down two major pipelines. They shut that down, so they said the gas is going to go up probably around 15 to 20 cents a gallon because of this.
I mean, and of course that is a minimal issue compared to those people that are living
Correct.
in the destruction, but still just things to be aware of. I was filling up today and I was like thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if we're going to see these go up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, I as far as how the market is going, I would say it is still very steady.
Strong.
Yeah. Strong and steady. There still is a lack of inventory. I was able to get a client under contract on a new construction in Belmont this weekend. We just showed up at the community. I tried to call, couldn't get anyone on the phone. I knew that they were almost done building out there. We got her under contract at $260, which is like absurd. Like that's for a 3-bed, 2-bath townhome.
$260,000?
That was the last unit they had available. I mean,
wow.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm just gonna say, like, I kind of feel like a magician with that. We got real lucky, but there is no inventory that is new construction under 300,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, right? I mean, like that is extremely hard to find.
Wow. Yeah. Good for you, Ash.
So I think we got lucky there, but we are seeing more houses come on the market. I don't have this week's stats.
So I do have a question for you about
Yeah.
that, and that is, I saw for the first time in quite some time a price reduction.
Okay.
And I think it was a townhouse
Okay.
in South Park, and I was like,
Interesting.
okay, all
So-
right. Maybe it was
so-
overpriced to begin with.
Always. And my next question was I wonder if it had went under contract and maybe it came back on the market
Ooh.
or something, because a lot of times what'll happen is maybe something's discovered and then they have to do a price correction if it comes back on the market. I think it's not a bad thing to see prices
We're coming back down.
Yeah. I do think that, sorry sellers, but we've all gotten a little bit greedy.
Yeah.
And that is a very weird thing for a real estate agent to say. Like, please don't egg me. But I do think that it is in everyone's best interest for us all to be realistic. I had to have a conversation with a client, and she's like, should I fix this? Should I fix that? And I said, we're going to list your house for $500,000. So if you're going to buy a $500,000 house, what kind of condition do you want it in?
Correct. Right. If you're asking for top dollar, you want the house to be in.
And $500,000 was top dollar. I mean, we're straight, and I have no problem with going to the top end of things, but I just like my clients to know, okay, that's fine. Let's ask for top dollar, but let's make sure that the product we're delivering is top dollar as well. That's an ethical thing, and I always like to put my sellers in buyers' positions because I think that helps them come back down to earth. We all want the house to sell for $1 million.
Right.
Everyone wants to cash in, take advantage of this great market, and I want you to as well. But I also want you to do it the right way. Right. With a good home, having someone good to buy the house, it presents well, everything has been maintained, because that's good for everybody in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, home warranties as well. I mean, if you want to back up that when it comes to, of course you want to fix things, but too, how many clients you see are purchasing home warranties when they buy a house? Is it something that people are saying, no, I don't want one. I mean, if it's provided by the seller or not, but do you think, was it 50%
Sellers
maybe?
usually are not providing home
They're not.
warranties. Not right now. I mean, it is very rare for sellers to do that. I think if buyers are like, they do an inspection and they come to you with a bunch of home repairs, and you said, well, I have this home warranty, I think that's fine to do as a seller. But when I have buyers, I always recommend a home warranty. No one has to do it.
Right.
Depending on the client, the price point, and the situation, I may offer to buy one for them. But some clients don't like it. They'll never use it. They literally will forget they have one. But some people really depend on it. And like I said, I like a lot of insurance, so I am always in favor of a home warranty.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on home warranties. Are they going to cover everything under the sun? Who knows? Maybe they will. Maybe they'll fight with you on some things.
Right, but there's that one time.
Right.
There's that one time that it's kind of like a golf shot, right?
Yeah.
You can play 18 rounds and you
Yep.
have that one shot that was like this close to the pin and makes you keep on coming back for more. There's just gonna
Yep.
be that one time where you're gonna be like, this wasn't worth this warranty, and then AC unit breaks and they replace
Right.
the whole AC unit for
Right.
$5,000-$6,000,
Right.
which $100 deductible. So it makes complete sense to go ahead and get a home warranty. A little money, once again, just like the insurance, we'll kind of circle back to that. A little money out of pocket to safeguard yourself for a lot of money down the road.
And like
Strongly
a good
recommend.
night's sleep.
Correct. Correct. Yeah,
And not having to worry about what if.
correct.
Right? So that's my take on home warranties. I offer it to my clients. Sometimes I offer to pay for it depending on the situation. Some people want it, some people don't care either way. It just kind of depends.
Right.
So what are you seeing with mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates, Powell spoke last Friday, Thursday or Friday, Powell was speaking, and rates have kind of ticked down just a hair. So
Okay.
they literally, I think every time we talk, they're either up and
Yep.
then they come down, and they go up and then down. So as of, Friday, yesterday, they've kind of ticked back down a little bit.
Interesting.
And with this whole Delta variant, that's still
Yeah.
kind of up in the air. And the reason that they kind of take back down is because they are going to maybe prolong the quantitative easing or the bond buying purchases that the government's going to say that we're going to stop buying our own mortgage-backed securities. So they're pushing that off a little bit, maybe till December. So it's once again, it's still kind of up in the air with employment, bond buying, and then I think the Chicago settlement came out today with some news where it kind of helped. So in employment. So we're going to be seeing rates teeter
Yeah.
at this 2.7 to 3.1 range. Good
Gosh.
credit, things like that. Once again, still a great time to
Yeah.
buy. It's never been a better time to buy. Of course, the home prices are a little bit higher, but you can still kind of afford more because the rates are a little bit lower. So,
Right.
if you need a house, looking for a house, you need to find something in the 260s. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm not sure I could do that again. And if you want to refi
Yeah.
right now with these rates, hit up Angelo, hit us up if you need help with, if you want a recommendation on a home warranty company,
Yep.
insurance company, reach out to us if you have any questions at all. While we serve the Charlotte metro area, we both have a network that is
Yeah.
nationwide.
Yeah.
So we'd love to chat with you about
Yeah.
whatever you need.
Well, awesome. This was
Yay!
good. Well, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you got any questions, please feel free to reach out. Send us a message, shoot us an email, carrier pigeon, whatever. We'd love to help you out. If you're looking to purchase, refi, anything when it comes to residential real estate, we can help you out. So thanks so much
That's
for
right.
joining, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, y'all.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.